Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers, James and Justin back again, and it has been a while since we have taken a look at some Terence Mckenna. But in this one, we're going to take a look at his final interview, which was done by After Skool, where they do those cool little art things on the screen.
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to watch the whole thing. We'll maybe just take a couple sound bites out of this and then talk about it.
And pontificate about it.
All right, guys, won't keep you waiting. Let's get into it.
With a K.
Novelty is not necessarily good or nice. Novelty is complex. That's what it is. And so I see really a concatenation of tendencies and forces here at the end. It's only going to get weirder. The level of contradiction is going to rise excruciatingly, even beyond the excruciating present levels of contradiction. So I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is. And at that point, novelty theory can come out of the woods, because eventually people are going to say, what the hell is going on? It's just too nuts. It's not enough to say it's nuts. You have to explain why it's so nuts. So between now and 2012, the next 14 years, I look for the invention of artificial life, the cloning of human beings, possible contact with extraterrestrials, possible human immortality, and at the same time, appalling acts of brutality, genocide, race baiting, homophobia, famine, starvation, because the systems which are in place to keep the world sane are utterly inadequate to the forces that have been unleashed. The collapse of the socialist world, the rise of the internet, these are changes so immense, nobody could imagine them ever happening. And now that they have happened, nobody even bothers to mention what a big deal it is. The fact that there is no such thing as the Soviet Union, people never talk about it anymore. But when I was a kid, the notion that that would ever change was beyond conceiving. So the good news is that as primates, we're incredibly adaptable to change. Put us in a desert, we survive. Put us in the jungle, we survive. Under Hitler, we survive. Under Nixon, we survive. We can put up with about anything, and it's a good thing because we're going to be tested to the limits. The breakdown of anything, and this is why the right wing is so alarmed, because what they see going on is the breakdown of all tradition, all order, all sanctioned norms of behavior. And they're quite right that it's happening, but they're quite wrong to conclude that it should be resisted or is somehow evil. The mushroom said to me once, it said, this is what it's like when a species prepares to depart for the stars. You don't depart for the stars under calm and orderly conditions. It's a fire in a madhouse. And that's what we have, the fire in the madhouse at the end of time. This is what it's like when a species prepares to move on to the next dimension.
So what was that first word he used? Cacophonation or something. I was like, didn't have time to look it up.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's within his realm to make up words like cacophonization or something. But anyway,
yeah, you could
so much to talk about.
Yeah, I know. You could listen to him forever, and there's so much there. I think we'll leave it there because I think he said the gist of what we can really talk about here.
We got to talk about it.
Yeah,
we got to talk about it.
So, one of the positive things you can definitely take out of here is the fact that he said that we are so adaptable that whatever's coming, we don't necessarily have to be resting in fear Because look at what we've accomplished over the years. Look at how humanity has adapted through all the changes that have come our way, and look where we are now. It's incredible.
Not only that, there's a profound tendency. I've noticed this in my own life. I don't know how relatable this is. I hope you all relate with it.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that when I was little, I encountered things that frightened me, man. It might have been a bad movie or something like that, and it would like stay with me. But then I would get older, and I would be like, I gotta face that dragon again. I would go and watch it, and I'd be like, this movie's effing awesome.
Yeah.
And haunted house, like, you know, it's like the haunted house thing. Like, you like creep up to the door and you look in and you're like, this is terrifying, and you scour away. But sometimes the things that start off frightening end up the things that are so fascinating. In my pursuit of altered states of consciousness and stuff like that, I've come across some bizarre realms where I was like, the best way to describe this would be bizarre. Yeah. A little bit so infinite and so peculiar and novel that it's almost like crushingly, almost like claustrophobically novel, you know, and makes you long for something as mundane as just getting up and going to work because it's too infinite.
Oh, and that's what happens sometimes after you go through. Yeah.
But I'm saying it's scary on the onset, but it could also turn into such deep fascination that you're like, plug me back in. I want to see it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we have a capacity to adapt, and we have a capacity to be even the thing that we're afraid of to be not that bad upon being exposed to it more. And like, how are we supposed to take to the stars without being like, let's do it? How did the people cross the ocean and come to the new world without being like, some of y'all ain't gonna make it?
Yeah.
We're living on bread and like, whatever.
You find a way. And I think there's probably a lot of people feeling like we live in some really weird times because it's like there's so much going on. It's like you got like the Puff Daddy thing going on. You've got the presidential elections that are all coming up like really soon, man. AI, like, just go look up some AI news, man. It's like every day there's something that's like the robots are coming. They're coming. If you're not aware, there's a lot of people who are like, robots? What robots are you talking about? They're coming. Skynet has gone online. Yeah. And it's like, it's just like, there's a never-ending sea on social media of like this thing, and it's just like it feels like the information is just like it's like shaking. It's like coming up and like, but I don't know. Here we are.
Well, it's definitely during COVID. It was like that. I feel like some people went through COVID and it was like, this is so weird. What's happening to the world? And we came out of it, but I kind of agree. It's like maybe we're in the middle of a bit of a breather right now. And it's like, time for the second one. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to frighten anyone. I want to stick with the initial thing that I was saying, that we have a capacity. We can do it. I believe in y'all. And we can get through it, and we can give it time, because at first sight, some of the things that seem strange and hard to get used to end up being the thing that is like where you go to vacation next.
Well, like, imagine it was the oil industry collapsed. Oh no, everyone's like panicking. That might be the onset for a new life where we like change everything that we do. It may take a few years. Might be like some heavy duty growing pains there in the beginning. But I'm saying, inside of something that's scary and seems like it's bad, something good can arise out of it.
Yes, and vice versa. Sometimes the things that you work so hard to attain, you upon the getting of it, you're like, how do I get rid of this?
Yeah.
So it could be both, and it's interesting as a creator. You were talking about the AI stuff because the video stuff is getting ridiculous. I was watching a commercial for, earlier today, and I was like, I couldn't tell you that this wasn't an AI commercial. It was for a car, and it was just quick shots of like a car going through a desert and stuff. I'm like, AI could totally do this entire commercial at this point. And as a creator, you're like, should I even contribute? You still should, because handmade stuff is cool, and I think that there's a whole like market for that, for seeing people go through the process of making things and seeing what still comes from
I keep looking at the robots, the android robots, and I keep waiting. I'm like, man, when are they letting the robots loose? I need someone to fold my laundry and cut my lawn for me.
Yeah.
I was like,
until you're like, you know what, robot, take a breather. I want to fold some laundry. At your own pace.
Yeah. It's not how it's done. This is how it's done, Jeeves. I'm like,
Yeah.
But anyway, be kind to your robot. Anyway, hopefully you guys liked our reaction on this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everyone till next time,
Stay spiritual.